Hi, it's Martin, and welcome to another video on my Knit365 YouTube channel. Excuse the seagulls. It is Monday the 12th? Yeah. Monday the 12th. This is Vlogmas episode 5. I think I said Vlogmas episode 5 in the last one, but it was only episode 4. And we are here, back at Oslo Central, to get the train to the airport, because we're now off to Stockholm. So, roll the music, let's go. Hello from the airport. Right, I've done today's clue, most of it. So we have finished. There's yarn everywhere. The next step is to put beads along the edge again, but in my bag the corks come off and all the beads are in the bottom of the bag. So I was contemplating threading the beads, getting my glamorous assistant to help me. He's looking at Instagram, he's not paying any attention. I was going to contemplate doing the beads, and then I could slip stitch them all on the plane, but that's not going to happen. I think I'm tempting fate trying to do that. So I might just get my knitting out and do a bit of knitting. So we are at, I was going to say we're at Stockholm International. No, we're at Oslo International. I think I've still got a cold. I think it's playing havoc with me, with my brain. So yeah, we are, what time is it? 12 o'clock. We are flying at 12:45. So, won't be long till wheels up. And then we can go and explore Stockholm. That's exciting. Leg 2 of the trip. Are you excited? Very. Good morning from Stockholm. Forget what it was. Slightly lazier start after yesterday's travel. A messy bed. I have picked all of my beads up that had dropped out of my jar thingy, storage thingy that had dropped into the bottom of my bag. And while we've just had breakfast, I found them and I've threaded them on. Can you tell I've only had one coffee so far today? So I'm ready to finish yesterday's piece. And then today's looks a bit intense. It looks easy, but when you follow the video, it's easy. If you read the pattern, Kerry's like, you can get the whole thing done just by following the video in the time it takes you to read the pattern. Because it has to be written, it's quite wordy. But the video makes it a lot more straightforward. So I'm probably not going to get both of those done before we go out. Mark is just getting ready, and then I need to get ready. But I just thought I would check in and give a bit of a crochet update, really. So, yeah, I hadn't done any yesterday. No, I tell a lie. I had done some yesterday, but I hadn't got to the beads because they'd all dropped out. So I've done the threading, so I'm going to sort that bit out now and get yesterday's wing finished. And then I think today we're going to go and do a bit of sightseeing, because when we arrived yesterday, it was... I don't know what time it was when we arrived. It was about 3 o'clock-ish, maybe, and it started to get dark. So we obviously saw the city by night, but didn't see a great amount in the daylight because a lot of the daylight had disappeared. So I'm looking out the window. There's the city. So we are going to go do some sightseeing. Are we going to the knitting shop today? Yes. Yeah. Because tomorrow we're going to the Abba Museum. Woohoo! So yeah, I think we're going to find the knitting shop today because that's near somewhere that our friend Beatrice, who I think I mentioned her yesterday, has recommended for lunch. So that's what we're going to go and do. So I'm going to get on with this. I'm going to finish yesterday's bit of the clue, and I will be back. There's been no more progress on the cowl. I didn't do any yesterday, and of course I haven't then gone back to do Mark's cowl. But I have now got the video, and I was doing it wrong, so I was right to rip it back and wait for the video. So I now need to decide whether I'm going to pause mine and go back to Mark's, or whether I'm just going to plough on and do mine. I know what he'll say. What do you say? What's your instant reaction to that?
Let the public decide. I'm a poll.
Let the pub. Oh yeah, but this video won't go up now. I can't ask this lot because. Oh, I guess I could ask you lot until you tell me. Shall I? Right. So in the comments below, I don't know when this video is going live. I don't know. Answer me in the comments below. I'll keep working on my cowl until this video goes live, because that's what Mark wants. Let the people decide. Should I stop my cowl and go back to his, or should I plough on and do mine? This does mean I need to get this video up before we go to Copenhagen, though, because my plan is 5 hours of train knitting, so that's 5 hours on your cowl, maybe. Live instant reaction. We will see. Anyway, right, I'm definitely going because I need to do some crochet. Back in a bit. Ready to go out. Finish the wing. We'll show you in a bit. But we forgot to do today's Advent. So it is day 13. And I know what's in it because I had to open the bag. I still need to get my tripod out of the suitcase because I'm still doing this one-handed. But day 13, we have gone another ball of cream. So today's bit of the clue, I need a bit of cream to finish the wingtips. I still think I've got enough cream to at least do one side, maybe the second side. But I'm guessing there's more crochet coming up that we're going to need cream for. So today's Advent gift is another ball of cream. Right, so on that note, we are ready. Say hi.
Hi.
We are ready to go. So let's go sightseeing. We are out and about. It's very cold. Look at my little red rosy cheeks. Have you got any wool on today? Oh, he has. He has shop bought wool on today. No hand knits. I've obviously got Harriet and Slipstravaganza. Yeah. We are walking to a knitting shop. Lillet Mistrum, I think that's what it's called. Seems to come up fairly regularly when you Google knitting shop Stockholm. So we're going to explore. But I have to go now because I can't have my hand inside my pocket because it's very cold. quick check-in at the end of... My memory is awful. At the end of the 13th, I'm going to wrap this video up. I've just been editing the footage together. We're up to about 20 minutes. And I'm going to wrap this up after tomorrow morning when we've opened tomorrow's Advent. And then this will go up on Wednesday night. But I thought I would... I've got my tripod. Woo! I've got a light in the room. So it's quite glary on me, but it gives us light to talk about. So, a couple of things. I'm up to date with Advent. And I feel like this is the first time in ages that I'm actually up to date. So, I need to sew ends in, but Kerry says in the video, we'll sew in ends all together at some point. So, the wing that you recognise where this was straight out, the wing has now been complete. So, we have joined in the middle tip to the top tip. We've switched from the mist colour to cream, and then we've added these 3 prongs on. So we've done that twice. So we have, oh no, that way, so that you can see them. We have mirror image wings. So yeah. So I'm now up to date. Woo! Which is great. And I have mirror images, which is what you need when you're trying to go for symmetrical. So that's great. I'm up to date with that. I haven't done still any more on my cowl. This is the Betwixtmas cowl. For those of you who commented on the last video, I will try and go back and answer those of you that asked. But this is the Betwixtmas cowl by Louise Tilbrook. And yeah, it's just bonkers. So I still haven't made any more progress. But now I'm up to date with Advent. Hopefully tomorrow's an easier day on Advent, and then I can get going. Then I just wanted to wrap up the yarn shop visit, and that was an amazing yarn shop. I'm so glad that I found it. We had a brilliant shopping experience. I'm going to be a bit of a tease, and I will show you some of the things I bought, but not all the things I bought. My Scandinavian project, I'm still not going to show you the wool yet. But what I'm doing is, because we have been to Norway, we're now in Sweden, and then we're going to Denmark. I wanted to buy some wool that would remind me of the trip. And I actually put a post out on my Instagram asking for like 3 skeins or 3 colour shawl wrap patterns, and a few people recommended the evenly uneven pattern by Jenny Penny. This is off Ravelry, and this is the pattern. So this uses just 3 colours, and here, obviously, excuse the light on the screen, you can see the various shades of green. There's a reddy pinky version. So I'm buying wool, and I'm going to make that. And the pattern, the designer, Jenny Penny, is Swedish. So I think it just wraps it all up together. So I'm going to be a bit of a tease, sorry. And until I get to Denmark and I do my yarn shopping in Copenhagen, I'm not going to show you the wool that I bought. You're going to have to stay watching Vlogmas if you want to see. But I now have wool from Oslo, wool from Stockholm, that will all tie together really neatly in that pattern. So watch this space. What I did buy though, because I need any more wool, the wool that I did buy, and you can go back and watch the wool shop, there might be a spoiler in that video. Did I buy the wool that I showed in my hand? The wool I have bought though as well is this, and these are spun and dyed here in Sweden. So just outside the city, the lady, I was talking to the lady in the yarn shop. We got talking about Norwegian wool and Danish wool and Nordic wool in general. She helped me pick out wool for my project. And she showed me this. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. That's probably too much for what I need for my project though. And then she was telling me the story that these are spun and dyed locally. It's like, I can't leave them there, can I? So I then was like, oh, blue and grey, you know my colours. Oh, but what about pink and grey? That's quite nice. Oh, but what if I had the blue and... so I ended up buying all three. So I don't know what they're going to become. They will sit in my stash and they will become something. My wool count today, I haven't showed this off yet. This is Harriet's hat you've seen in the video. I'll pop some details below. It was a pattern for a Shetland MRI appeal. I think it was like 2019, 2020. If you live on the Shetland Isles, there was no MRI scanners. So if you got poorly and needed like investigations or diagnoses, you had to go to the mainland in Scotland. So a lady called Harriet, who lives on the island, designed this pattern and all the sales from the pattern. And then they did ready to make, ready to wear hats and mittens and scarves and things that you could go and buy them. And contribute to the MRI scanner, which I believe the campaign was successful and they got it done. So that's good news. So that's Harriet's hat. That's what I've been wearing. And this is made in Jameson's wool. So it's proper woolly wool and it's so warm. And these mittens are done in Rauma. I think it's called Rauma yarn. These are the mittens by Isolde Teague. I can't remember the name of them. I'll pop it on screen. But these are also super, super warm. I need to get a drink. My cold is gone, pretty much. But every now and then when I'm talking, I feel like my throat has got really scratchy. I'm staying hydrated. So these mittens are also super warm. So I've been wearing these today. So the fact that Mark had that lovely hat on. Where was your hat from?
Today?
Yeah. Burberry. Because he's fancy. The fact that he had commercial hats on, I made up for it by having 2 extra hand knits. But these 3 are going to become something. So I might make another pair of these gloves. I think they would go super cute. I've got a book in the house on Norwegian knitting. So I might see what I've got because it's really rustic. Like there's no labels on these. It's locally spun, locally dyed. I don't think the wool itself or the fleeces start life in Sweden. They're imported in because they don't have enough sheep. I think that's what the lady said. That's what she said, wasn't it?
That was what the impression I got.
Yeah.
Lack of sheep.
Lack of sheep in Sweden. So they buy it in, but they spin it and dye it. And you can see it's all the little dye lots. So I'm super excited to see what these are going to be. I feel like at some point in another video, we'll talk about it, but I'm going to go stash diving in my stash. Only next year. I'm not buying any wool. That's going to be a whole nother year-long project about how far can I go without buying wool. What? To be confirmed in writing, yes. So I kind of feel like I should... I can top my stash up now, can't I? That's what I'm doing. So there we go. So I bought those and I had a brilliant time at the local yarn shop. I've shown you lots and lots of Stockholm. We're going to go out for dinner now. So there's a few little squares around with more twinkling lights. We've got reindeer lights right outside the hotel. So we're going to film those when we go out for dinner in a little bit. But I just thought I would grab the tripod and check in, show you where we are, show you what yarn I bought. But I am going to be a tease on my final yarn until I get to Copenhagen. So you've now seen the pattern that I'm going to make. But that's all I'm going to show you. You'll have to come back. I hope you'll come back to see what yarn we're going to use in that pattern. So we are just getting ready to go out for dinner. I'll be back in the morning when we will open up day 14 of Advent and see what we're going to get up to. And then we'll wrap this video up and then hopefully you're watching this Wednesday night. And then that'll be Stockholm because we then leave on Thursday morning to go to Copenhagen. It's all go here, but we're having a brilliant time. It's super cold. Oh my God. Every clip I take of this, my cheeks are so rosy. But it's lush. All the woolen. We were, as knitters, we were made for this weather. That could be the thumbnail. Right, I'm going. See you in a minute. Good morning. Thursday?
Yeah.
Wednesday? Wednesday. All these days blur into one when you're on holiday. Look how pretty. It's snowing. We are off for breakfast. It's very early. What time is it?
It's 8:30.
8:30. Swedish time, obviously. My mum keeps texting us in the morning, oh, you're up early. Like, ma'am, our time difference. Say good morning.
This is proper snow.
Get in behind her. So that's us at the Abba Museum and the end of this video. It is so cold and snowy here in Stockholm today, and yeah, it's just amazing. We're wrapped up nice and warm. I'm keeping my throat wrapped up and warm. I genuinely feel 100% again. Like, if I could do that little like jump in the air and click your heels, I would, because I feel fine, apart from the fact that my voice is really deep. Hello, darlings. But you know, I feel fine now, so I'm so glad that I'm better. We were out till gone midnight, which probably didn't help, drinking rum cocktails. But hey ho, we're on holiday, woo! So I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'm gonna edit the footage together and get this up online for you Wednesday evening. Then tomorrow we head to Copenhagen on the train. So let me know in the comments below, should I be dropping my cowl and going back to Mark's, now I know how to do the pattern, or shall I plow on with mine? I'll see what the response is overnight, and when you watch back in the next episode, you'll see us on the 5-hour train journey to Copenhagen, and you can see who won the popular vote. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It's been lots of fun filming Stockholm. It's been super festive, especially with all the snow. It's really cold, really, really cold. I think it's colder than Oslo because there's a wind here as well, which makes it feel colder, whereas Oslo was quite dry and still. But there we go. So I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I'm off to find Mark. There he is. I've had to come down here because there's music playing outside the museum. And like just now in the coffee shop, you saw me open up today's Advent, but I've had to put my music over the top of it because the YouTube algorithm doesn't like you using copyrighted songs, obviously for the right reasons, because it's not my music. I don't have the copyright to play that song, but it therefore won't let you put a video online if you've got copyrighted music in it. So sometimes when you see that I'm indoors, if I'm in a coffee shop, for example, and I've got my music over it instead of the general coffee shop sounds, it's because of that, because of copyright. So I've had to do that over this morning's video where we got the sewing needle. We've started to sew up on today's clue, and we have sewn the wing together. So the wings are now finished. I've sewn all my ends in. I just need to snip them. I didn't bring the scissors with me. And then tomorrow's, I think we are stuffing and starting the sewing up properly. So that'll be a bit of fun. On the train, either side of the knitting. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to stop talking to save my voice. And I'm going to go and meet Mark now. We are going to the Abba Museum. Maybe a little bit of that in tomorrow's video, or in the next video. I'm not sure how much I can film inside, etc, etc. But thank you for being on this crazy vlogmas journey with us, following us around Scandinavia. I hope that you have enjoyed. So until we speak again, happy crafting.